Oh gosh, my hair looks horrible. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Jade. It is great to have you here. So today we are going to be cleaning, reorganizing my bookshelves, and as I do that, I'm going to give y'all a bookshelf tour. I have been planning this video for a while and I hope it sees the light of day because I feel like we're going to be here for a while and I'm going to get so much footage and y'all deserve to see it. Excuse my hair, the shirt, we are dressing comfy because we are going to be cleaning, essentially cleaning all of these bookshelves. So I don't want to talk forever because I already feel like this is going to be a long video. So let's go ahead and get into it. But before we start, I just want to answer the question of where my bookshelves are from. My bookshelves are custom made. I have been growing my book collection since I was in 8th grade, which was 2016, 2017. And so my bookshelves have been growing since then. I've been slowly buying a bunch of books. And now here in the year 2025, this is the final product. So I'm going to put a picture right here of the earliest picture I can find of my bookshelf, and it is from 2019. And as you can see, it is very tiny, and I think I got the bookshelf from Target. But as the years went on, and especially when COVID hit my junior year of high school, I started reading a lot more and started growing my collection more. And my dad realized that I was running out of space faster than I could buy bookshelves. So he went ahead and hired a carpenter to design and make my bookshelves, and this is the final product of them. So they have this top finish. I know he wanted it to match the finish of my windowsill, and then they go all the way down, and then I just use the bottom ones for storage, but this is what they look like. So I did just want to answer that question in case someone did, want to know where they were from. I love these bookshelves. I love them so much, but let's go ahead and get started. So I do have a candle burning in my bathroom. I like to keep the fan on, so I don't like to burn the candle in my room. So that's why the sink area is right there. But I think we should just go ahead and tackle. I don't think I'm going to be very organized with this. I think I'm just going to start right here, literally right in the middle, and go this way. And then, because I feel like the top, I cannot reach the very top of my bookshelves. I can't quite grab one is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to need to get a step stool for the very top of them. And I feel like it'd be easier if I do the easy parts first, because then it'll be more motivating to continue. So we're gonna start with this shelf right here. This is, I say, my romance shelf. I just saw that they're giving these, or they're not giving them away. They are being sold with Happy Meals, and so I've been obsessed, and I will literally buy Happy Meal for my sister, my mom, my dad, because I want these little figurines so bad. They got me. Capitalism got me, I fear. So back to what I was saying, this is my romance shelf. We have Mile High by Liz Tomford. This is the first book in the Windy City series, and I have all the rest of them to show for it. I love this series, my favorite being Caught Up. I know a lot of people like play along or even rewind it back, but my favorite is Caught Up, and I think my least favorite is Mile High, which I don't think that's all that controversial. Next, I have the Off Campus series. These ones are the sprayed edges because whenever I initially read them, I didn't read physical copies. I read them on my Kindle back when I think this was my freshman year of college, so I think the fall of 2021 is when I read the full series. I apologize if I keep moving the camera. I'm still trying to figure out the angles that I want. But here we have the first one, which is The Deal. The second one, which is The Mistake. The third one, which is The Score. The fourth and final one, which is The Goal. And then like a compilation of short stories featuring all of our characters in the aftermath, like years after their books ended. And that is The Legacy. Secret alert, I have not read this one yet. If you see dust flying around, ignore that. Remember, we're gonna clean them, okay? And then up here at the top, I have Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. When I talked about this on my TikTok, I said Megan Brady, and I was so embarrassed about that after the fact. I did not even realize I said that until after the video was posted. I read this on my Kindle, and I recently bought a physical copy of it because I think I would want to reread it and then continue on with the series. And then next we move on to the Emily Henry portion of the video, which is Beach Read. I think this is the first book I read from her, and it's not my favorite, and I think that is an unpopular opinion. Oh no, I think the first book I read from her was Book Lovers, but then we have People I'm We Meet on Vacation, which the movie comes out here in a few weeks, I think. And I'm so excited because this is one of my favorites. I think I gave this one 5 stars. And then we have Book Lovers, Happy Place, which this is probably, that scared me, which this is probably my least favorite. I did not like this one, and I think that is also an unpopular opinion. And then we have A Funny Story. This one is probably my favorite. I loved this book. I'm pretty sure I gave it 4 or 5 stars. And then we have Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I think this cover is so stunning. The like mosaic of the orange, yellow, pink, dark pink, red. I think this book is so stunning, and I actually really enjoyed this one. And I know that is an unpopular opinion. A lot of people did not like this one, but I really liked it personally. And then we have the Elsie Silver portion, and we have Flawless, Heartless, Powerless, Reckless, Hopeless, Wild Love, Wild Eyes, Wild Side, and Wild Card. I'm still trying to figure out a way that I want to do this, but I think what I'm going to do is take them off, clean the bookshelf, and then when I put them on, tell y'all what it is and what books are there. So as we go ahead and let this bookshelf dry, I figured I'll go down and tell you how I organize my books, which is by genre. So we're gonna start with up here. This top one is my historical fiction shelf, and then the one right below it right here is my mystery thriller. And then we go down to, this is like my literary fiction / miscellaneous. And then we have contemporary romance. You can't quite see it because the book cart's in the way, but we have YA contemporary. And then you go down one, and that's my Harry Potter shelf. And then there's nothing on the very bottom, just some excess books that I have yet to read that aren't quite on my shelf yet, but the book cart's too full to put them on there. And then starting from up top right here, we have my historical fiction / classics shelf. And then we have, these are all really fantasy, but they are books that I got from the Illumicrate book subscription box that have sprayed edges on them. And then of course right here is my adult romance. Then we have some more adult romance, except right here are my book of the month books, and right here are some more of my unread books, and then some more adult romances. And then the bottom just holds some extra YA contemporary and my shoes. And then up at the top here we have YA fantasy, YA dystopian, and then we have just my full Sarah J Maas with some miscellaneous. We have Heartless Hunter and then Fourth Wing as well right here, and then some more fantasy books. This is a mix between YA and adult. And then we have some more fantasy, and then right here are some books. The Poppy War are some that I haven't read as well. And then down here is my Percy Jackson shelf, and then up here is my Cassandra Clare shelf. And then we have my YA dystopian, and then we just have some regular YA fantasy, and then some YA fantasy as well. We have the Vampire Academy series, a couple of Twilight books, and then you can't see it because the couch is in the way, but then these are also YA dystopian, YA fantasy, stuff like that. And then behind the couch are empty shelves. But let's go ahead and put the books back on the shelf because they're dry now. Should we move down to this one, or should we go over? Let's go over. Let's do a row first, which means we are going to have to move this guy. Oh my gosh, it's so dusty right here. I think I might just hit all these down here, but let's go ahead and take them off. So dusty. So first to go on the shelf is The Favorites by Lane Fargo, which is not my favorite book in the world. And then Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, which I absolutely loved this book. And then we have the rest of the Taylor Jenkins Reid, which is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, One True Love, which I did not like this book, and Daisy Jones and the Six. And then we have The Visible Life of Addie LaRue. I loved this book. I know that not a lot of people did. They thought it was boring. I, however, really enjoyed it. And then Dear Edward by Ann Napolitano. This book made me afraid of planes. And then we have Jade City by Fonda Lee. I plan on rereading this book and then continuing on with the series because the second book is on the TBR cart somewhere. One thing you should know about me is that my favorite book of all time is The Song of Achilles. So I have multiple copies of it because it's my favorite book and I love to collect copies. And so the first Song of Achilles copy I have is the one that I bought when I was like 15 or 16, and I read it within a few days. Loved it. I remember staying up until like 1 in the morning finishing it and sobbing, and that is just the regular US standard copy of it, and I ended up rereading it and annotated it. And then we have the UK version of the Song of Achilles. I think this cover is absolutely stunning. And then the next copy I have is just this regular hardcover. It has the blue sprayed edges, and I don't think there's anything special about it. It's just blue, and I saw it and I bought it because I love these books and I'm gonna buy multiple copies of it. And then the recent copy that I bought is this special edition. It has the US version on the cover, but it has "We were like gods at the dawning of the world and our joy was so bright we could see no one else but the other" quote on the back. And then these sprayed edges. If you know me, you know I love sprayed edges, and so when I saw this, I knew I had to have it. And this one is a bit special because it has the map on the inside, as you can see, and then it also has some extra content on the back about the author, about the book. You get information about the gods and immortals, author Q&A with Gregory McGuire, discussion questions, and then two author essays. So it has insights, interviews, and more. And then next we have Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owen, Pachinko by Minjin Lee, and then we have A Man Called Uva by Frederick Bachman, The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zedin, and The Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This is actually my dad's copy. I DNF'd this book, so I think it'll go back to him, or if he doesn't want it, I will probably unhaul it. And then next we have The Mad Wife by Megan Church, The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros, then the paperback copy of Remarkably Bright Creatures because I really liked it. And then we have Vampires del Norte by Isabel Cañas. This one's my favorite book. I gave it 5 stars. And then Malas by Marcela Fuentes. So we're gonna go ahead and actually go down one because these shelves are absolutely filthy and I want to be able to put my book cart back without having to keep moving it. So first we have my little Statue of Liberty. When I went to New York City and we visited the Statue of Liberty, I bought a little replica because I knew I would want to display it on my shelves. So I'm looking right here and I think I would want to unhaul One True Loves. So here we have Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and then we have The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. Then we have The Two Lives of Lydia Bird by Josie Silver. I dislike this book, so I think I'm gonna unhaul it. Picking Daisies on Sunday by Liana Sinsati, and then One Day in December by Josie Silver, and The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I may want to get rid of this one as well. We'll put that over there just in case I do. And then we have The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, which I still need to read this book. I don't know why it's not on my TBR cart. And then Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, which I may want to get rid of this one also, so we're going to set that over there. Dow A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I don't know how to say that. Unsteady by Peyton Corinne, and Collide by Bao Cabra. My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. Do I want to get rid of this one also? Maybe. But the cover is really cute. I love retro covers. The Wall of Winnipegamy by Mariana Zapata, and You Had Me at Ola by Alexis Daria. Crazy Witch Asians by Kevin Kwan. Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, and The Night We Lost by Jill Santopolo. To Love and to Loathe by Martha Waters. I didn't really like this book, but I did get it at the Strand in New York, and I don't know if I want to give it away. I need to really quit holding on to books for sentimental value. But we also have The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I think this cover is really pretty, and so I don't want to get rid of it even though I didn't care for it. I think I may unhaul these two. And then The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. Look, we have so much space now. So I do it like this just so that it can act as like a book stopper. Let's do these first. We have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I don't know if I would want to keep this one. We'll put that in the maybe pile. 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. Fall Like Leaves by Misty Wilson. Sprayed Edges, but we might not keep this one. We Were the Lucky Ones by Georgia Hunter. I still have yet to read this book, so I don't know why it's not on my TBR card. And we have Counting Down With You by Toshi Bugen. We have Tokyo Ever After by Miko Jean. I love these books. I still need to read the second one, which is probably on my TBR card. XOXO by Axio. This one was really fun. Yeah, we're keeping it. And then we have the Heartstopper series. So we have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, and Volume 5. Volume 6 comes out sometime in 2026. And then we have the Dork Diaries. This one was my sister's back in the day, but I don't think I would want it taking up space on my shelves. So we're gonna put this in the unhaul pile. Oh, then we have Everything. What a Sign of the Times. Yes, I'm keeping this. The Upside of Falling by Alex Light. We're gonna unhaul. This Time It's Real by Anne Liang. We're keeping. I Hope This Doesn't Find You by Anne Liang. We're keeping. And Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Yes, we're keeping. And then we have Heart and Soul by Jen Frederick. The only reason why I would not want to keep this book is because I hated it, but I did read it with my sister, and we had a fun time reading this together because we both disliked it. So I think I'm gonna keep it for the memories. And then we have Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. And then we have The Summer I Turned Pretty, and then It's Not Summer Without You, and then Always and Forever Laura Jean, and P.S. Oh no, To All the Boys I Loved Before. The movie tie-in edition. To All the Boys I Loved Before is so nostalgic now because it came out when I was a freshman in high school and everyone was talking about it and everyone started wearing scrunchies because Laura Jean was wearing scrunchies. And I remember when the second book came out, P.S. I Still Love You, and Laura Jean was wearing headbands. It was like a trend again to wear headbands instead of scrunchies, and people were like, scrunchies are out, headbands are in because Laura Jean said so. And so every time I rewatch this movie, it's just so nostalgic. It reminds me of my freshman year of high school. So at the very bottom are just books that don't fit on my TBR cart. So we have Say Nothing, Patrick Radden Keefe. Then we have NW by Zadie Smith. I bought this for school and I never read it because I ended up not needing to. So unhaul pile. The Phone Booth at the Edge of the World by Laura and Mai Messina. The Other Westmore by Wes Moore. Then we have Lily King's Writers and Lovers. And then A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. Ooh, I'm liking how it's looking. So this is how it's looking so far. We have my literary fiction / miscellaneous shelf. My YA contemporary, there's some adult on there, my more YA contemporary, and then my Harry Potter. Oh, it's a shame that my TBR cart is going to block those. My camera is actually about to die, so we are going to stop here for now. It's probably clean a bit more of the bookshelves off camera, and then when I come back and the camera is a bit more charged, it's literally going down by the second. It's 17% now. I will give y'all a bookshelf tour, but I'll see y'all in a second. Okay, I am back. The camera is now fully charged. We'll see how long this lasts. Let's continue. We left off, in case you forgot, with doing this side, so now let's go ahead and do this side. So just a little bit of a refresher of what we're doing. I'm going to clean the bookshelves, take them all off, and then clean it, and then when it's dried, I put the books back on, and as I'm putting them back on, I tell y'all what books I will be keeping. And I'll also decide, once I'm putting them back on, what books to unhaul. So let me know in the comments what you think I should do with the books that I'm unhauling. If I should give them away or if I should do a giveaway, let me know. I think I'm going to give some of them to my friends and my siblings, but what I might do is tell them that they can only pick like 1 or 2 because I want to give some to y'all as well. I also decided that whenever I'm cleaning and taking the bookshelves off the shelf and all that, I'll be listening to my audiobook, The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. I'm on chapter 15, so I'm gonna get to listening.
Chapter 15.
Oh,
Charlie.
It's connected now. The Love Hypothesis. Hold on. It looks like I tried to take the sticker off and it didn't go very well. Okay, yeah, we're gonna leave that. The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood. Check and Mate by Allie Hazelwood. Bride by Allie Hazelwood. Mate by Allie Hazelwood. A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. And The 7-Year Slip. And The Dead Romantics, which these 2 are my favorite. I think I gave both of these 5 stars, and this one is my favorite out of the both of them. And then Sounds Like Love. And now we have Abby Jimenez with The Friend Zone, Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and Just for the Summer. Sarah Adams's When in Rome, Practice Makes Perfect, and Beg, Borrow, Steal, which I love the covers on this cover. And then Cara Bastone's Ready or Not and Promise Me Sunshine, B.K. Borison's First Time Caller, Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe, and The Love of My Afterlife by Christy Greenwood, which this is another cover that I am obsessed with the colors. And then Hannah Bonham Young's Out on a Limb and Out of the Woods, which these ones go sideways so that I can optimize all the space right here. And then a few Christina Lauren books, which we have Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, The Unhoneymooners, and Love in Other Words. And then all of these rest ones are Lynn Painter books. So this one's Happily Never After, The Love Wager. And then moving on to her YA, we have Better Than the Movies, Nothing Like the Movies, The Do-Over, and Betting on You. And I recently met her, I think in September. And so all of my YA ones are signed by her. So now we have Lisa K. Adams's The Bromance Book Club series. So we have the first one being The Bromance Book Club, and then the second one, Undercover Bromance, the third one, Crazy Stupid Bromance, and then the fourth one, Isn't It Romantic? And then we have Tara DeWitt's Left of Forever. I don't have the first one, which is Savor It. And then Lila Sage is next, and we have Soul Searching, Done and Dusted, and Swift and Swaddled, or Swift and Swingled, Swift and Saddled. Oh my Lanta. And then Annabelle Monaghan's books, which we have Nora Goes Off Script, Same Time Next Summer, my favorite summer romance, and my least favorite, It's a Love Story. And then we have Catherine Center's books, which I recently just met her as well, and so she did sign mine also. And so we have The Bodyguard, Hello Stranger, and The Rom-Commers. My favorite is The Bodyguard. And then next, these are the unread books that I have right here, which is Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage, Sawyer by Jessica Peterson, which I also haven't read Cash, but I don't know why they're separated. Wyatt by Jessica Peterson, which I think Sawyer should go on the bottom, but I don't think it matters at the moment. Thrown in the Dark by A.K. Caggiano. As you can see, I did start reading this one, but I didn't get very far before I decided to pick up a different book. Lightlark by Alex Astor. I think that is one of my 26 for 2026. Duke by Jessica Peterson. I guess that should have gone on the bottom with the rest of them, but that's okay. And then The Princess Knight by Kate Jacobs. And then now we have my book of the month selections, which is Silver Elite by Danny Francis, which I don't think all of these will fit because I decided to add Catherine Center right here. These Summer Storms by Sarah McLean. The Second Chance Cinema by Thea Weiss. The Haunting of Payne's Hollow by Kelly Armstrong. Never Over by Claire Gilmore. We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark with the pretty sprayed edges. Oh no, I bent this. And Buckeye by Patrick Ryan. So the first books we have here is Lauren Asher's The Dreamland Billionaires trilogy, which is the fine print, Terms and Conditions, which is my favorite, and then The Final Offer. And then we have the next trilogy, which is the Lakefront Billionaires, and that is Love Redesigned and then Love Unwritten. The third one is somewhere on my book cart. And then next we have the Icebreaker trilogy, which I do not like these books. I did not like Icebreaker, and I hated Wildfire, but I love Daydream, so I think I'm still going to keep the other two because I really did like Daydream. And then we have Fred Weasley with Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, the Funko Pop. I love Fred and George Weasley, and so my sister bought me this one year for Christmas. And then we have The Rulebook by Sarah Adams and When Javi Dumped Mari by Mia Sosa. I didn't really like either of these, but I might keep them either way. I don't know yet. We might put this in the maybe pile. I don't know yet. And then we have Chloe Walsh's The Boys of Tommen series. We have Binding 13, Keeping 13, Saving 6, Redeeming 6. Oh, and I think that's all of them. I think the other ones are on my shelf in the other room. And then Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I love these sprayed edges. They're little taxi cabs. And then one last book of the month book, Her One Regret by Donna Freitas. And then we have Dating After the End of the World by Geneva Rose. I enjoyed this, but I don't think it was something that I would want to keep on my shelves. But I think that there's going to be a second one coming out. And I know when the second one comes out, I definitely would want to buy it and read it. And so I'm going to keep this for now. A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahira Mafi. I love this book, so I'm going to keep it. American Rose by Catherine McGee. And then Majesty by Catherine McGee. You've Reached Sand by Dustin Chow. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Normal People by Sally Rooney. And The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Steven Chbosky. Yeah, my camera dies pretty fast. It is now 2:06 and it's 80%. Let me go ahead and put the trinkets back and then I'll show you all the final product. Alright, so now we have these all clean and reorganized, which I think I only just messed with this shelf right here, not the other ones. Typically I only have room to mess with them if I give some away, and I don't think I gave any away from here, but I think I did give some right here. Oh my goodness, you guys, we're moving on up in the world, literally, because now we're gonna hit this shelf. let me grab my step stool. I forgot I had this little dusting thingy, but this is my step stool. I can only use it to access these ones and a little bit from up here. If I need to clean, I can't use this one, but if I need to like reshelf my stuff, I can use this one to get the very top. But I decorated it all cute with stickers and everything so that it could look fun, you know? It could look fun. That is so good. I forgot to add Good Spirits and Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. So first we have Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. This is just the sprayed edges. This is the cover art. And this is the hardcover. And then we have Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. Sprayed edges. This is the inside. And then this is the hardcover. And then we have To Cage a God by Elizabeth May. This is the sprayed edges. This is the inside. And then the cover. And then we have Holly Black's Book of Night. Plain black sprayed edges. Inside. And then the cover art. And then we have The Principle of Moments by Esme Jakiemi Pearson. Sprayed edges. The inside. And then the cover art. It says, courage is the only thing stronger than fear, and love is the thread that holds the atoms of this universe together. And then we have Little Thieves by Margaret Owens, sprayed edges, and then the book cover. Iron Widow by Sharon J. Chow. I think I just butchered that name. Cover art and the inside. I apologize for mispronouncing that. And then We All Fall Down by Rose Sabo. I think this is also something that I am not going to read. I'll put this in the maybe pile. And then we have Fathom Folk by Eliza Chan. This cover is stunning. The sprayed edges. Oh my Lanta. The inside art. Oh my Lanta. This is really pretty. And then To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods by Molly X. Chang. Beautiful cover. Pretty sprayed edges. You can see that. And then the cover art, or the inside art, and then the cover art. This is also stunning. And then we have The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. Gallant by V.E. Schwab. The little sprayed edges. Crave by Tracy Wolf. And The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. So now we're going to move on from here to right here, which is the same row where the book cart covers. And this one is my Mystery Thriller shelf. And I figured let's go ahead and clean this one. So we have Ace of Spades, which I still need to read. I don't know why it's not on the TBR cart. And then now we have Maureen Johnson's Truly Devious, The Vanishing Stair, The Hand on the Wall, and The Box in the Woods. And then now we have Karen and McManus's One of Us is Lying. And then Holly Jackson's The Reappearance of Rachel Price. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition. I think this book is stunning. And then we have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, The Naturals, Killer Instinct, and then Holly Jackson's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl, Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead. And then this is just a regular plain journal. And then We Used to Live Here by Marcus Clywer, The Guest List by Lucy Foley, Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera, and Murder Road by Simone St. James. Finley Donovan is Killing It by El Casamena, Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, Never Lie by Frida McFadden, and The Inmate by Frida McFadden, The Overnight Guest by Heather Gudenkoff, The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, The Last Murder at the Edge of the World by Stuart Turton, and The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. Alrighty, you guys, I think we're gonna break this up into two parts because my back is hurting. Oh, and The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Or is it Sager? Let me know how to say it. Okay, I think we're gonna stop here because my back is killing me. I think we did pretty good. We did 12 of the shelves, and so I think we're gonna do 12 in part 2, and then part 3 will probably be the very top. I might do a separate video talking about all the books that I plan on unhauling, what I should do with them. So give me some ideas of what I should do with them in the comments. But if you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed the first part of this video, and let me know what other video ideas y'all want to see. I know that this one was requested, and I was planning on doing something like this a bit later, but because it was requested, I wanted to go ahead and film it a bit sooner. And so thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.